Why did you choose engineering? Tell me something weird reasons. Me, I like to become Iron Man because that's why I chose engineering, electronics engineering. All right, that's a good one. I think that a lot of people sympathize with wanting to make the Iron Man suit. Um, why did I want to do engineering? I wanted to design golf clubs. I wanted to design and test golf clubs and then get free golf clubs and then play golf all the time. I don't know. I think that a lot of my initial career aspirations were evolved around how much golf I could play while also on the job. Um, so yeah, for me, it was I wanted to make golf clubs. So yeah. Next one, gift for water engineer. All right, so I responded to this one on Ask Engineers, and then in the time since I responded to it, it got removed for violating the rules of the because it wasn't substantive. But basically, this person's significant other was going to become a water engineer, and she was asking if she should get him a tie or whatever. And I thought this would be fun to respond to, so she was asking, do people wear ties? And she mentioned that he works out in the field. So I work in an office and I don't wear a tie, but kind of depends on the work culture. And I know for sure, for the most part, the guys that work in the field for my company don't wear ties. So I wouldn't recommend a tie, but here are the things that either I've wanted or I have now that I really, really like. And I think would have been great gifts for me when I first started. And I think would be great gifts for other people. The first one is a leather Padfolio case. So I personally run through Padfolios like crazy because I'm constantly taking notes in meetings and I just had them organized. So a really nice, slim, not super bulky, just really thin case to protect my Padfolio and make me feel kind of fancy while I'm walking around with it would be kind of cool. Or also, what are the things that the lawyers have? I don't know, lawyer logbook. Is that what it's called? It's called a lawyer's, record book. So lawyers have like these like libraries of notebooks called record books, which I thought there's a lawyer in my company that I work with that uses these record books, and I think it's so cool because all of his notes are super organized. It's basically like your own personal encyclopedia of all your handwritten notes, which I think is super cool. I don't know. That's kind of a niche gift, but I don't know. Maybe if your spouse is really into organizing their notes, then that might be something cool. Next one is mouse. So love where I work and love the things that they give me, but the one thing that didn't come in the standard, I guess, equipment that I got as an employee was a fancy mouse. I got your average Bluetooth mouse, which is good for most people, and I didn't even ask for this. I just ended up buying it for myself. But the mouse I use is, and if you're watching the video like 3 months from now when I finally post it, is a Logitech Mx Master. This is the original version, but I think they're on like number 3 or 4 now. And once you use one of these bad boys, you will never go back. They're about like, I don't know, 70 to $100, depending on which model you get. And honestly, you can get one of the older models and he'll be just fine. And it just kind of changes the way you work. It's big. It has Bluetooth. You can connect to multiple different devices. So I have it on, I can take it back and forth between my work computer, my personal computer, and even my phone. I can, whenever I use my phone for that purpose, which is never, but Logitech Mx Master, and then they also make the MX Anywhere mouses, which are good if he's out in the field a bunch, but it's not as portable, but I still travel everywhere with the MX Master personally, so I would recommend just an MX Master. If he's going to work in the field a bunch and he hasn't worked in the field before, a nice set of steel-toed boots would be a good gift. I'm using a lot, and that's the Toastmasters thing. I shouldn't be using I will. My challenge to you listening to the podcast is to count how many times I use and let me know how good of a job or how bad of a job I did. But no more ums for the rest of the podcast is my goal. So steel-toed boots. I would say a nice pair of steel-toed boots, maybe a pair that looks like cowboy boots, or just an like a good boots brand, not just some brand that you've never heard of at the bottom that's the cheapest thing of steel-toed boots. Because if he's working in the field, then he's gonna need good boots and boots that fit and feel comfortable. He's gonna be wearing them all the time, every single day. So a nice set of boots that'll last him a long time is a good one. Another thing that I got was a nice professional looking bag to put my laptop and accessories in. So whenever I was picking up backpacks, it just so happened to be there around the same time that Target was doing their special release with Hunter. So I got a really nice Hunter backpack. It's like it's like a rubber looking backpack, but it's like super sleek. And I like it because my company gives out a standard backpack to everybody, and it's kind of like the same kind of backpack that I wore in high school and college, and super professional looking, but I didn't want to have the same one as everybody else. And I really like the versatility of the bag that I have. It's a backpack, but it has like a laptop sleeve, and it holds just the amount of stuff that I want to take in and out of work. So it's a good fit for me, and I'm really glad that I have my own unique bag, and I don't have to worry about getting mixed up with everybody else. So really nice backpack. That he might have a favorite company like a Patagonia or like a North Face, or maybe he wants something that's leather. You kind of know his taste more than me, but a really nice backpack would be a really cool gift. Now, for the professional occasion, if he works in the office at all, if he doesn't already have one of these, a nice fitted blue blazer would be a good gift. I think my standard go-to in the office, I want to look nice, is khakis, a button down, and a blue blazer. So if he doesn't already have a really nice blue blazer, get him a nice blue blazer. And then another one, this is kind of niche, but a nice refillable pen. He's going to be writing a lot, and maybe his company will give him refills, but I don't know. Having like the same boring pens, I don't know. I have developed my preference. I really like a nice ballpoint pen that writes really nicely. So there's a specific type of pen I like, and I get them every single time I visit a local hotel in San Antonio from my room. Shout out Hotel Emma. Their pens are the best, but I don't know. Everybody has their preference, and if he has a preference, then maybe a nice pen that's refillable that writes the way that he prefers, because he's probably going to be writing a lot. And I personally like having one really nice little pen, and maybe he will too. And then lastly, will he carry business cards? Maybe a nice leather case for his business cards, but I don't know. Most people don't carry business cards now. I carry mine, and every once in a while I exchange them, but then when I get them from somebody, half the time I don't really do anything with them. Networking people out there, you can get onto me for that. But yeah, but maybe he's the kind of guy that carries business cards. But yeah, those are the things that I would think would be good gifts for engineers. If you're listening to the podcast and you think I missed something that would be a great gift for an engineer, there's a feature on Anchor where you can actually write into me, or also maybe interact with me on I'll post a poll on my Instagram story, and why don't you fill into the poll what a good gift for an engineer is, and then I will read out the best ones at the beginning of the next podcast. Whoa, audience engagement on the podcast, shout out. And if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, then you can engage in the comment section below. But that'll probably be 3 months from now at the pace that I'm at, or I've been saying 3 months from now for like the longest time, so maybe like 8 months from now. All right. Next one is a meme that I'm reacting to from our engineering students. And then what they did is this is a video by Shiv VZG, SHIV VZG on YouTube. It has 2 million views, and he roasts every college major in 60 seconds. And his roast for engineering is, you'll end up with a good job at the expense of your mental health, sleep, and happiness. I will say generally, I have decent mental health, and I get enough sleep to function, and I generally have a decent time on the weekends, and I don't know, my job makes me feel fulfilled generally, so I'm generally pretty happy. So I don't know, some people may disagree with me, but I don't completely align up with that. But there are moments where I'm like, oh gosh. But you know what, I'll tell you this, I think engineers complain a lot. I'm gonna say it. Engineers complain about like I know engineers like to say that they have the hardest major, and yeah, it might be. In my opinion, it probably is. But we don't need to. I don't know. Engineers like to say that kind of stuff a lot because like they want everybody to know how hard it is. And all I have to say is, if I had to do a stand-up sketch, the first thing I'd do is I'd make fun of engineers for that because I don't know. We're so vocal about how much we complain about that kind of thing. So, but I don't know. Me generally, I think I'm doing all right, and engineering's worked out well for me. But I sympathize. I have those moments with other people that believe that it will be a good job at the expense of your health, sleep, and happiness. But I'm pretty fortunate to be in a good position myself. So.
I'm miscommunicating. I just made a pilot, then they threw me on the stations. Nah, I'm not complaining, nah, I'm not complaining. My thoughts get complicated, I cannot explain in lameness. Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.